Call to order the Greenwood Redevelopment Commission on this, the 10th day of May, 2020. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Campbell?
Here.
There he is. Mr. Harris?
Present.
Mr. Hopper?
Here.
Mr. Hoover?
Here.
Mr. Malone?
Present.
And non-voting advisor, Mr. Alexander?
Just in time.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, we have a quorum, and for the record, Mr. Campbell is online virtually with us today.
I do have a question procedurally.
Yeah.
I'm not recalling. Did this body adopt rules for conference participation? We're not under the emergency anymore.
Great question.
I don't think we do anything.
Unless the city was able to do something that included,
I know the council passed something.
that may create a bit of an issue with Mike participating and certainly voting. I don't know, Mike, if you can hear me through us.
We can adopt something similar to what the council has if you want. Using virtually the same language, I think. Just for the RDC. Can you hear us at all, Mike? Yeah, he's getting ready. Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Did you hear any of the first part of our discussion?
No, I did not. I'm sorry. My audio wasn't working.
That's okay. So the question is, since we're not under the state of emergency anymore, whether you can participate virtually unless we pass something that says you can. So
Okay.
did the city adopt anything for boards and commissions that other than the council?
Some individual one did, so for instance, the Parks Board.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember us doing it.
Had to adopt their own policy.
that's what I thought too.
Should we make that motion right now?
I think it has to be in writing. We have to, get it drafted. Is there anything that really requires all five?
Probably not.
votes? If not, probably suggest that we get that prepared and presented at the next meeting.
Well, I'll move that we direct Mr. Watson with people, staff, if necessary, to prepare a resolution allowing for virtual attendance and voting members.
I'll second that.
I'd say it'd be in a similar fashion as the council, like you'd have to have a quorum here, so there'd have to be 3 of us present, 2 could, I suppose, be absent. There were restrictions on how many, we let you miss half the meetings, I think, the council, something like that. It's less than that, but similar.
There's a state statute that outlines it. So we can make it more restrictive, we can't make it less restrictive.
Not make it more.
Any questions from anybody? Roll call. Although Campbell can't vote, we can do a voice vote, right?
Bit of an odd one, but yes.
All right, all those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. All right, motion approved 4-0. Motion approved our minutes from the last meeting. Motion by Mr. Moen, is there a second? If we could mute whoever is not muted, that would be great.
What's that?
I don't know if he did or not. Is he aware? Because he didn't hear some of the audio.
Oh.
Mike, just so you're clear, you're not voting on anything today, okay? You can just nod up and down, it's fine. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay, motion by Mr. Moen, second by Mr. Harris. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All right, motion approved 4-0. Business, old business, capital project report, 623 South Madison Avenue, consideration of contract with Denison Park.
Good afternoon, Kevin Steinmetz, the city's capital project manager, was unable to join today's meeting. Persons asked that we come and present and answer any questions. The Denison parking agreement, this is for a professional services consulting agreement with Denison Consulting Group for not to exceed $12,000. He's asked that it either be payable from the east side or central allocation areas. My understanding is you all have a copy of the contract, proposed statement of work. I'll do my best to answer any specific questions you may have regarding the action. I believe it's generally to provide advisory services relative to the setup, structure, and operations, some design considerations relative to the parking garage facility that you see constructed down the street, being constructed down the street.
This appears to be a one-time outlay. This is not for ongoing consulting.
Yes, sir.
So I take it it's not for, you should design the building this way, it's more for what kind of systems you should use to keep track of who's coming and going, how much the rate should be, things like that.
That's my understanding.
I was gonna say it'd be a little late for design input, right? At least it looks like it'd be too late for design input. Any other questions for Adam?
I don't know if this is related or not, but so is the city going to manage the parking garage, or is somebody like Denison's going to manage the garage?
Still an open conversation. So it's certainly going to be city owned with essentially a HOA type structure being charged out pro rata based on the users. That's for the project agreement.
Right.
At the times of negotiations with the project agreement, it was contemplated that there would be an operator,
Right.
that would be used to bring in the subject matter expertise relative to parking and efficiencies, relative to pricing, when it should be
Right.
paid, open, et cetera.
So yet to come as far as
Yes.
the management of the garage, it's still an open
Yes.
deal. Okay.
And that would be an operating cost within the,
Understood.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Any questions or comments from commission members? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved, 4-0. All right, consideration of contract amendment with NASB Construction.
So same request. Kevin asked that I come and present this as well. This is for some site work and remaining items to be done at the Madison project. We did not exceed around 14,000, 15,000. And again, payable from the central east side allocation areas. You have a copy of the statement of work. And the contractor is that he and the city have used in other projects and are making a favorable recommendation on this item.
Any questions from anybody?
This is not related to the new work. This is an amendment to the previous Madison Avenue.
Right.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll motion.
Second. Sir. Comments from them? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion approved, 4-0. Fieldhouse project consideration of task order number 1 with hires for promotion.
So this is the last one that I believe that I got here is, yeah, Kevin, this was Hiram's company. They do a lot of the advertising work. They assisted with promotion of the opening of the Fieldhouse project, and my understanding is that this is a request of approximately $7,500 for additional services related to that. And they're requesting the east side and or central location area to pay for.
And this is in addition to their monthly stipend, correct?
Yes.
Fix the overheads for the field house.
It certainly was well received by the public, I think. Got a lot of publicity for it.
Front page of the IBJ, I think it was. Yeah.
I know Vicky, I see Vicky's on, I can't remember, I'll probably misquote it, I was on that email thread where they shared the total reach metrics of all the press too. And Vicky, I don't know if you can hear us, I want to say it was measured in the tens of millions.
Good afternoon. I can get that for you right away. Stand by.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed their 1 day of spring. We got in Indiana yesterday. Summer.
Times of the charges for that too.
Well, while we're waiting, is there a motion to approve?
I will make that motion.
Mr. Cooper, is there a second?
I'll second.
I see it here, Vicky, if it helps, the email I got was yesterday, and the total reach, if I'm reading this correctly, was 279 million. So I don't know exactly how those are, like, if that's impressions or how that's measured, they'd be able to speak to that, but certainly quite a large reach.
So roughly what, like 4/5 of the United States population saw that we.
And the estimated advertising equivalency. So if we had to place any kind of ads to get that reach would be upwards of $146,000. So it was a good week.
Hopefully that translates into people coming and using the facility. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion approved 4-0. Financial reports, monthly financial, you're still up, Adam, sorry.
Try not to be the new gang.
And some could say that he followed me.
I know. No, man, that we were. So, if there's any questions on the monthly financial report, we'll take them. Otherwise, the link shared, it's updating daily. Hopefully that's working out well for you all. The second item, or the main item I had, as far as the agenda related that we would be seeking a motion or decision on today, is the annual determination of excess assessed values. So what I have up on the screen for the benefit or Councilor and RDC member Campbell is the determination memo. So this just outlines the reporting requirements. For those of you that have been on the commission for a while, there's been some changes to this over the years. Not only do you have the date when we have to provide the determination notice to the fiscal bodies of the underlying units, there's also the 200% project capacity coverage calculation as well. That was added a few years back. So this document just goes through the methodology. This is a consistent methodology that we've used now for a handful of years, where we calculate using current tax rates, a weighted average tax rate for each allocation. And then effectively, we extrapolate that on to the assessed values, capture assessed values, and then look at outstanding debt and any committed projects or likely to be committed projects, and calculate that coverage ratio in that gray box for each of the various different allocation areas. So when we looked at the Airport Parkway, it came in just shy of 78%. The I-65 area was 3.8. Drive Road US 31 was at 59.4. east side is 70, just shy of 76%. Central expansion, 116.7. Southwest, just shy of 13%. And lastly, the Worsville Road allocation area is at 126.67. So again, that calculation, if you're familiar with the debt coverage calculation, it's effectively that with the addition of capital project commitments as well. So it's looking at the projected tax increment financial revenue for next year minus the amounts for, or divided by the amounts needed for debt service, as well as any large capital project needs to be cash funded. If that calculation is greater than 200%, so in other words, if there's over 200% of excess TIF funds, then the state statute, as we understand it, requires this to go before the council as a secondary step. In this case, these all calculate below the 200% threshold, which allows the Redevelopment Commission to make its determination at your level as we see it. And that's been consistent with how it's been done the last few years. So with that said, we're happy to take any questions or talk through any of the methodology. Otherwise, we would just ask for, if you're comfortable making a determination at today's meeting, we provided some sample letter as well as so this is the sample letter to the units that would go out notifying them. This is intended to go out to their fiscal bodies in preparation of their budget development cycle, and would just outline your determination one way or the other. And then these are the various different actual mailed stakeholders that would receive those packets. We've done our best to update those based on changes we're aware of, and we will update these accordingly based on any return to senders or anything like that. So if you do decide to make a determination that is to release a certain amount of value, we also need to know the assessed value and aggregate dollars. From a financial perspective, we think it's reasonable to make the determination across all allocation areas that there are no excess assessed values as well. Happy to take questions.
Questions for Alan?
I'll move that we find that there has been no excess assessed value. That would direct Mr. Wright to issue the appropriate letter to the other interested entities.
Motion by Mr. Hoover, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Harris. Discussion on Commissioner Overs. Hearing none, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion 4-0.
Thank you very much. We'll work with staff to get those out the door as soon as possible.
That is just a note to you, Dr. Gabriel is retiring,
Oh, okay.
and Jason Taylor will be taking his place. So you may be hearing some from Jason in the near future.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you for that. We'll update accordingly. Thank you all. That's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, Corporation Council. Mr. Hudson is here, but he's sending this capable assistant city attorney.
I appreciate that. I have one item for you this evening. It's a reimbursement agreement with GCG Investments LLC. That's for reports that were generated by Aegis in their contract itself for the former in between the bund property at 102 South Madison. So the city has filed a start condemnation process for that property. And so this is in regards to the environmental studies that were created for that property.
Maybe I should accuse myself, but I see my law firm's name on this.
Yes,
That's what we do with-
and part of it
Yes,
is
it
legal
does.
services as well. And that's for a total of $16,523.50.
I'll make a motion to approve the reimbursement agreement. Is there a second? I'll second. Second by Mr. Miller. Any questions? Comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved.
One
3-0
abstention.
with one abstention.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Mr. Hudson.
I just have one item to follow up on the Eurus annual report, also referred to, I think, in your SharePoint. It's the Green Business Center, I think. Yeah. We received the final annual report, and it did satisfy the requirements. I would note, and as you can see, it's on SharePoint, 2 items of potential interest. Over the course of the project, they have now paid property taxes in excess of $50,000, $50,477.82. And they've also reported employing at the facility 63 employees. That's all I have.
The online, has something, nothing on one click today.
I can report that they have, we talked about it at the last meeting, but went ahead and asked Amanda to go ahead and put that online so you can see it. If you were interested, as I reported last week, their annual report that was due last year was filed with proper information now, which is what's late.
Okay. Right. Mr. St. John, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. I have two things on the agenda before you all today. The first is the consideration of two change orders on Horseville Road, Section 3. The first is change order 13 in the amount of $6,694.10. This change order was to raise an existing sanitary sewer manhole to grade. The second change order is change order number 16 in the amount of $32,036.16, and that was to add 6 rectangular rapid flashing beacons to the north and west legs of the roundabout at Cape Bricks. Happy to answer any questions. I did come to this project late, so I answer them as best as I can, but I am happy to correct.
Know that I have any questions. It seems like the manhole raising it to grade is like standard practice, is it not? Not something they should have to come back and figure out later on. I guess that would be my only question.
Yes, it's my understanding that the way the bridge was put in there over the creek was changed to a different type of bridge that was put in, and there was it went from being just box culverts to an actual bridge, and there's significant grade built to that. Sorry.
All right, thank you. All right, is there a motion to approve change order 13? I guess we'll start with that one.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Huber, is there a second? Second by Mr. Conlon. Any discussion for commission members? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is approved 4-0. Is there a motion to approve change order number 16?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Harris. Is that almost a second by Mr. Moan?
Yep, second, that's what I was gonna say.
Mr. Moan?
Second.
Or do you have questions on it? I can talk about it if you want to.
Nope.
Hearing no questions or comments, then all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is approved 4-0. Next.
Try to share a screen. I've never done this up here before, so I'm not terribly sure what I need to do. Yeah. I always say I should put something on that. Okay, I'm here to present to you all for its first presentation, its first reading, a project that my understanding has long been discussed here at the city of Greenwood the last couple of years. That's intersection improvements here at the intersection of Main Street and Airport Parkway. There's a number of improvements that will be put in here. Majority of them will focus on the intersection of Main Street and Airport Parkway. We will be adding a traffic signal at this location, an eastbound left turn lane, a westbound left turn lane. We'll also be removing that wonderful wooden pedestrian bridge in the southwest corner of the intersection. And there'll be some filling in of that ditch so that the trail can be continued across that existing ditch, so some pipe work and that sort of thing. A little little further east of the Airport Road intersection is the intersection with Concordia Drive. And there we will be adding an eastbound passing blister, so if someone's turning left there, you can around them. And that required a shift of the trail as well, and some pipe work there. As I said, we're hoping to consider this our first reading of this project. We'd like to go out and procure bids here in May and come back before you asking for a contract award at your next meeting in June.
I still hate traffic signals and would rather see a roundabout, so I guess we'll be back in like 10 years putting a roundabout in probably, just like we are at the high school. Oh, well. Any questions?
Is there a reason it's not a roundabout?
Does anybody know the official reason? I heard it's cost prohibitive, something in that area.
Yeah, I wasn't here when the project was built. Roundabouts do take up more property. We did have to buy some right away on the south approach to Airport Road there from Valley Vista, so we would have had to buy more there to put in a roundabout.
Trace condos too as well.
That's probably the biggest reason. I know there's contribution from a developer there north of Main Street as well too, and I'm not sure if that had requirements for a signal versus a.
Yeah, that agreement is specified traffic.
So yeah, that was part of it as well too.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think 10 years from now, this board could be, that's what around about it.
I just want the signal to
Good man.
the signal, yes, to the roundabout.
Yes.
You mean a 5-minute signal? Is that you guys?
Yes, the 5-minute signal at 5 o'clock in the morning when nobody's there, that magically turns red right before you get up and you get through there.
I was
Yes,
promised
that's-
flashing in non-school hours.
Yeah. Tom, damn you. All right. Anything else for Mark? Thank you, sir.
Glad to see no one's bitter.
I'm not bitter about that.
I would note, it sounds like they are intending to proceed with putting it out for bid.
Correct.
So you want
You want a
permission to
motion to
put it out
approve?
to
And
bid?
and
Okay.
so
All right.
you may want to
Is there a motion?
decide whether you want that to happen.
Well, I suppose it's
Well,
better than
yeah,
nothing,
yeah.
but, yeah.
I'll move, direct staff to prepare this project for road purposes.
Is there a second?
I'll say.
Second by Mr. Harris.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's fine.
It's easy for you to say that.
Yeah, right. I would think you guys are Daniel's
I-
spot.
I-
Yeah, I'd use that excuse for a while. All those in favor, aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. That's what you're here for, right? Keep us honest. Anything from the mayor's office?
Nothing.
Sir. Is there a motion to approve the May 2022 claims docket in the amount of $197,946.65? I've seen one that small. Yeah.
Only me, I don't.
Yeah,
I'll
so-
motion, I'll motion it.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Hoover. Any discussion from anybody? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Anybody in the room have anything else for us? Anybody on the interwebs have anything for us? All right, hearing none. Sure, see you next month.